The name of the movie is The Gangster. The movie starts off by showing us a white car driving around the roads of a city. The white car follows a black car and bumps on it when they reach an isolated place. The drivers step off their cars and the guy from the black car takes some pictures of the accident in case his insurance company asks for them, but then the driver of the white car hits him and drags him into the back seats of the black car. He stabs him, kills him, and then drives away with the white car. On August 5th, a hot summer day, two policemen are stuck in a traffic jam. They are listening on the radio about the murder that happened in the first scene. As the traffic is not moving, Tae-suk gets off the car and walks to a gambling facility. Security men try to stop the policeman from entering by bribing him. They put some money in his pocket, but Tae-suk doesn't accept that and beats them up soon after. He arrests a man working behind the counter. The accusation is a legal exchange of money. We watch the mafia boss Dong-soo train with a punching bag. His men tell him about the incident. Dong-soo first orders to put down the punching bag. His men take down the punching bag and unhook it. A man was trapped in it, and this man was covered in blood and beaten. Dong-soo exits the building and gets into the car. He gets into the car and two other cars follow him like a convoy. He called someone at the police department and complained about the cop breaking into his gambling facility. He was paying this police chief to keep his men from disturbing him. Tae-suk makes the man who arrested him ride his motorcycle and take him to the crime scene. Tae-suk handcuffs him to the motorbike and approaches the scene. We watch the man turn his motorcycle around in order to escape. Tae-suk approached the scene and the police apparently found the man who was killed. Tae-suk examines the scene alongside his partner. He finds evidence. It is possible that someone had hit his car from behind. Dong-soo talks to Sang-do. He is also a gangster. They talk about respecting their duties. They differ among themselves, and their two bodyguards, one each, get mixed up in the verbal spat. Dong-soo gets up and punches his bodyguard while removing teeth from the other guard's mouth with his bare hands. He says they shouldn't be talking when the bosses are talking. Sang-do was so intimidated that he couldn't disagree about anything else. At the police station, a group of men gather and analyze the victim's life. He had no debts or enemies. Then they try to build a profile on the killer. Tae-suk suggests that he is a serial killer because there were two other killings where a knife of the same length was used. The other men disagree with Tae-suk, while at the same time the manager picks on him because he trashed the gambling facility without having jurisdiction to do so. Tae-suk hasn't changed his mind, he just wants to catch the bad guys. Dong-soo exits the building with his bodyguard. He orders his car to pick up the other men and go home. He was not drunk and drove his car alone. On the way, Dong-soo is driving while talking on the phone. Suddenly a car hits his car from behind and he hangs up. The driver gets off the vehicles. The other guy who hit Dong-soo's car isn't anyone because he's the serial killer. Dong-soo did not want to report the accident to his insurance company and leaves. But the killer wouldn't allow him though. He surprised Dong-soo and stabbed him twice. But Dong-soo was not a weak person. A fight broke out between them. Dong-soo eventually pulled the knife out of the killer's hands, and he stabbed him in the back. The killer gets into his car and runs over Dong-soo. Dong-soo is hospitalized while his men go to kill other gang members to take revenge on them. At the same time, the serial killer cleans his knife and tends to his wound. Then he walks through the outdoor facility. He finds another target who was an old man and stabs him. When Dong-soo wakes up, he talks to his bodyguard and tells him that the one who stabbed him wasn't a gangster. He has no idea who the attacker is, but tells his guard to find a painter to draw the features of the person who attacked him. Tae-suk visits Dong-soo to get his statement, but Dong-soo doesn't tell him anything. Tae-suk continues to check Dong-soo's car, looking for the connection. He finds that the killer is ramming his victim's car from behind. He is supposed to be the serial killer. Tae-suk talks to the police chief and tells him to stop covering up for Dong-soo. He tells him that they need to bring him in for questioning because Dong-soo saw the attacker's face. He claims that he was right about the serial killer thing, who should be the serial killer who has the guts to attack the gang leader. The director does not want to hear him anymore and kicks him out of the office. We see the serial killer standing at a gas station to grab coffee from a vending machine. He watches a man and stabs him to death. Dong-soo describes the killer's face to a woman. She draws a sketch and gets very close to him. Dong-soo gives the drawing to his bodyguard and orders him to find the attacker before the police do. While the killer is driving the truck, a man wakes up. He was sleeping in the cab of the truck. The killer finishes him off too, but the knife falls out of the truck and it falls to the side of the road. Tae-suk visited Dong-soo again to try to add some pressure on him. This killer is completely insane and must be stopped or more people will die. Dong-soo's bodyguard tells him that their business is not going well. Rumors circulated about his name after he was attacked. Dong-soo decides he must get hold of this killer and kill him to clear his name and win back respect. His men find the knife he uses to kill people. Dong-soo invites Tae-suk to cooperate in the search for the serial killer. If Tae-suk finds him first, he can bring him to justice, but if Dong-soo finds him, he will punish him as he wants. They share all the information they have so far and Dong-soo reveals his camera that was filming the whole time they were talking. He needed some collateral to work with a cop. The gangster and the cop work together to catch the killer. The killer is 35 years old and kills his victims only at night. Tae-suk shares the secret with his partner and another officer and tells them that they will help the gangsters find the killer and then he will be caught. Dong-soo tells his guard that they will let the policemen help them and once they find the killer, they will get rid of them. Dong-soo complicates the issue a bit more when he asked his men to kill another gang leader with the knife of the sneak kill. Not only that, but he leaves it there for the cops to find. When a forensic examiner examines him, they find genetic information on him that links him to the previous gas station murders. Tae-suk solves the mystery and understands that Dong-soo disposed of the Shangdu in a way that would fool the police into thinking that the serial killer did it. Tae-suk visits Dong-soo and they have a fight, but he can't do much about it. The news was talking about Shangdu's death. A new team is added in the police department to assist in the investigation. The serial killer watches the news in a restaurant and murmurs to himself, "I didn't do that." A young man listens to him and looks at him frightened. The killer gets up and leaves. On his way out, he taps the young man on the shoulder. At Chengdu's funeral, the serial killer sits in the crowd watching Dong-soo. He approached Shangdu's bodyguard and gave him a note that Shangdu was killed by my knife, but not by me. His face was pointing at Dong-soo. Dong-soo and Tae-suk take a closer look at the white car and find a bloodstain under the steering wheel. This evidence could lead to the identity of the killer. But suddenly a group of men attack them. It was the men of Changdu who knew that Dong-soo had ordered the killing of Changdu. A huge fight ensued and the two managed to defeat them. Later on, Tae-suk and his accomplices got a lead on the serial killer and were already able to see it with their own eyes. They chase him through the streets, but he manages to escape. They discover where the killer ate and drank. They start looking for the bottle he drank from and visit a factory where empty bottles are returned for recycling. They also bring a forensic team with them to try and get some new leads or clues. Dong-soo forms some new partnerships in an effort to restore his business to its former glory. At the police station, a female forensic scientist gives Tae-suk a file and suggests that he go look for this man. He was declared missing long ago, but she has found a fingerprint that matches the one she found on the white wheel. Tae-suk visits a house rented by someone he suspects may be the killer. He talks with the landlady and she says that the man who rents the house is a good man who has not caused any trouble. He manages to find some pictures and some other clues. He compares the photo to the drawing they have from Dong-soo's description. He is certain that he is the serial killer. Tae-suk tells his partners and Dong-soo about it. They share the killer's picture with everyone and search the whole city for him. Unfortunately, they haven't found anything yet. The guys are tired and decided to take a break. Dong-soo is waiting for Tae-suk at a random meeting point. It was raining and there was a girl waiting for the bus next to Dong-soo. He gave her his umbrella to protect her from the rain until the bus got there. Dong-soo, Tae-suk, and their men are having dinner when the news on TV catches their attention. The student who Dong-soo gave him his umbrella is found dead. He gets angry and everyone gets up to search for the killer again. This time they discover him in a car and a car chase occurs. Dong-soo and his bodyguard crush the killer and Tae-suk at the same time. But the killer escapes on foot through dark alleys. They split up to chase him. The killer stabs Dong-soo's bodyguard, but then Dong-soo tracks him down and punches him hard. Dong-soo takes him to a warehouse and tortures him. When he is ready to kill him, Tae-suk enters the warehouse with his car and knocks out Dong-soo. Then he arrests the killer and takes him to the police station. Another problem occurs when the police do not have enough evidence to send the killer to death row. Tae-suk convinces Dong-soo to present himself as a witness in court. Dong-soo will do that if Tae-suk promises to send him to the same prison as the killer. Dong-soo appears in court and proves that the killer did indeed attack him. When they quarreled, the killer was stabbed in the left chest. The killer policeman was undressed and had a wound in the aforementioned area of his body. The killer ends up in jail along with Dong-soo, who is likely to kill him before carrying out his death sentence.
Subscribe to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications and leave a like to help the channel grow. Thank you for watching.